What's up, folks? Good morning. Come on in. This show comes to you from the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. It's the 29th of March, 2021. The Eric Zane Show podcast begins now. Go. What the fuck am I doing?
Z.
Oh, shit.
SP.
This is like the third day in a row I've done this. Eric Zane Show podcast.
This is Zaniac Joe Pellerito.
And Danny Pellerito.
E-Z. S-P. E-Z. S-P. It's the Eric Zane Show podcast. Give me an E. E. Give me a Z.
Z.
Give me a S. Give me a P.
P.
What's that spell?
Espa.
What's that spell?
Espa.
All right, listen. It's the Eric Zane Show podcast show. Yeah, that's what it is. Please welcome Mr. Eric Zane.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast. This is a daily show Monday through Friday where I cover news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. And there's always something cooking. Always something going on. See the usual suspects showing up right now on the live stream. Thank you. Let's go over how you get the show, of course. You can get it, of course, on Facebook, facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page on Facebook. Facebook brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids, Hybrid, and EV. Please like it. Please share it. Off you go. Twitter video on Periscope. I don't know if it's Periscope video on Twitter or Twitter video on Periscope. I think it's Periscope video on Twitter. That's brought to you by Blue Frost IT. At Eric Zane Show on Twitter. If you could, retweet it with a nasty, snarky comment. Much appreciated. They seem to be really biting lately. Really, you're getting very good at it, the few of you that do that. So thank you. And, of course, YouTube, the almighty YouTube. Eric Zane Show on YouTube. Brought to you by F45 in Byron Center. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, thumbs up, off we go. I'm also on Instagram. Occasionally I'll do Instagram Live there and things like that. Instagram, Eric Zane Show, all one word. On Instagram, brought to you by the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Yes, this is how we do it each and every day of the week. It has been for, 2 years, nearly 3 months now of doing this podcast as often as possible. Most of the time, I think it's probably only been like 10 days, maybe 15 days in that 2 years, 3 months where I haven't podcasted. But, it seems to work. Seems to be going well. Thank you so much. And, of course, the audio podcast available wherever you download podcasts, wherever you get your shows from. And all of this is available at ericzaneshow.com. It might have been easier just to say all that info, ericzaneshow.com, but I kind of like getting very specific about it. You know me. So, all right. Let's get after it. And plenty to talk about today. And I think the thing that I want to touch on first isn't the basketball, isn't the Suez Canal barge, isn't Captain Bizarro. It's the attempt again. How often have you heard this from me lately? As my fat ass continues to grow and the concern about the cholesterol level and your old pal Eric Zane, I have all of the knowledge. I know exactly what I need to do in order to eliminate all of the trouble or all of my concerns about me becoming more vulnerable as I get older. That LDL number, that bad cholesterol, as they call it. You got the HDL, which is the one that they want it good and high, and then the LDL number is my LDL is rising, which it's not supposed to, and my HDL is dropping, which is, this is shitty. And that is burning on my brain. That is really, really burning on my brain. I just want to live a long, long life, and I don't want to get sick. I don't want to have a heart attack. For God's sake, they can take your cholesterol level and look at those numbers, and then they plot it out, and then they tell you, like my doc, he takes a look at those numbers, and then he goes, okay, you are at a 3.5% chance of sudden death from a heart attack. That doesn't sound like much. He says, for a person typically your age, it should be 2.3. That's what it's supposed to be. That's what it is. That's what most people, that's like an average. You're above average. And I'm like, well, I never thought that would be me. He goes, yeah, well, I've been looking at your numbers, your bad cholesterol, just a handful of years ago, 5-6 years ago. Yeah, that LDL number was like that of perfect. It was absolute perfection. And now look at you. You're up almost 100 points. Yeah, that's true. I was at 88 in 2016. I'm at 145 now for the bad cholesterol. So shit's got to change. And it's all about my eating. I just eat like an asshole. And it's really getting on my nerves. It's really bothering me. Terrible habits. So Saturday, I'm sitting there, Saturday evening. I'm like, I just, had another day where I obliterated the BC pizza, which, eating pizza once in a while is no big deal, But the thing is, if I have BC pizza at Captain Bizarro's on Saturday, well, I'm also going to have a bunch of garbage on Friday before and the Thursday before and the Wednesday before. So that makes the pizza that much more of an issue, You got to balance shit out. This is just me yelling at me here. I'm not yelling at you. It's just my own problem. So now, like I said, I know what the fuck to do. I got this great cookbook, and it's all Mediterranean. I've gone down this road before. Remember I was doing the meal prep? My God, I blew that out, stopped doing that. And that was okay, except the time involved. I don't really have the mindset to spend an entire Sunday making an entire week's worth of food. I think I would actually rather just make it as I go. That's how I feel. So yesterday, I've got another cookbook. It's always involving a cookbook. And I know I tell you all these times, I've told you many, many times that I'm going to make a video of me making food. And I am, because I've got lots of great ideas of how I can make this thing hum and for it to be entertaining. Because what you do is you shoot all sorts of video of making the food, and then you edit it to like a 3-minute video, and then you narrate it, okay? You add your own voice to it. You don't talk while you're making the food. You got to keep it moving. So that's what I want to do. But I was so excited about this because I opened up the book, and I'm making a pizza, a Mediterranean pizza with, get this, a pourable thin crust. So exactly as it is, you're going to make what is the crust of the pizza, and you're going to pour it into a pizza pan that has like rims on the side so that it holds it all in. So how the hell do you do that? Man, hugely successful. I freaking crushed it. Now, for me, when it comes to all the ingredients, I don't sit there and just scoop this, scoop that, throw it in. I have to get it all ready. So I've got like 10 to 15 of these little plastic bowls with each and every frickin' Gordon Ramsay ingredient ready to go. So I've got a 1 cup of whole wheat flour. I got half a cup of all-purpose flour, a tablespoon of sea salt, tablespoon of oregano, and you got to take the oregano, the tablespoon of it, and you got to crush it even more than the way it comes out of the container. So it's super powdery. Those 4 things go into a bowl. In another bowl, 2 eggs and a cup of 2% milk. Whippy, pori into the flour mixture. That's your crust. So the crust is 2 kinds of flour, egg, milk, salt, oregano. Whip it up. It's like freaking oatmeal. And then you pour it into the pan. And so now it doesn't cover the whole, and the pan is greased with cornmeal on the bottom. You pour it on top of there, and then you got to spread that, but super careful because it's just going to get jacked if you aren't careful about it. You got to spread it to the edge of the freaking thing. Then I've sliced red bell peppers, rounds. So you like take out the middle, and then you cut an 1/8 inch thin the rounds, and you lay them all over the top of the pizza, all over the crust, in the 400-degree oven, okay, for 11 minutes. It comes out, and it's dry, and it's your crust, okay? This is so awesome. On top of that, tons of black olives, artichoke hearts quartered. Lay them on top. About a third, maybe a half cup of red onions sliced thin. Lay them all over it. About 1 cup of feta cheese on top of that in the broiler. Keep an eye on it because that cheese is going to want to go. It's going to want to burn on you. You got to turn it a little bit here and there. Keep an eye on that thing. Do not burn the damn cheese. Man, it's awesome. Holy crap, was I successful. It looked like a restaurant pizza. I pull this pizza out, drizzle a little extra virgin olive oil on it, and we're set. We're golden, man. Oh, was that a win. I am so happy about this. Oh, fantastic. So that got me. I was pumped yesterday. I was like, oh, I ate well. I did not eat like an asshole. I don't feel like garbage. Oh, that is so sweet. And all the while that was going on, the frickin' basketball games were on. So I've got it on this iPad here in the kitchen, watching the games. And it was an awesome weekend for that. I'll tell you. Now, I haven't even looked at my bracket since I filled it out. I literally filled the damn thing out on the ESPN Tournament Challenge. A few of you saw it. And then you guys made your picks, and I haven't even looked at it because the first weekend was just loaded with so many upsets. It doesn't even matter at this point. But I actually did spend time watching the games this weekend, and man, did I enjoy that. I had forgotten how much fun it is to see a game that comes down to the wire like the ones that I watched. First of all, Michigan and Florida State, that did not come down to the wire. Michigan beat the hell out of Florida State. Okay, that was not even close. They just kept the frickin' pedal to the metal and obliterated Florida State. The night before, though, I was watching that 15th seeded Oral Roberts team take on Arkansas, and Arkansas was like 3 or something like that. And my God, was that fantastic! Oral Roberts, they had them on the run in this damn game. Holy crap! I mean, it would be the first time that a 15th seed had gotten as far as the Elite Eight if they win this game. And they gave Arkansas everything that they could handle. And somehow Arkansas kind of scrapped their way back into it. And, a handful of minutes left. It's even. And then Arkansas goes ahead, all right? And they're up by 2 with like 3.1 seconds left. Oral Roberts has to inbound the ball and then set up with an open 3 and nail it, okay? And I'll say this. I mean, I don't know shit about shit, and especially basketball, but they designed some play, and if you watched it, you know what I'm talking about. You saw all these Oral Roberts guys running around like in some crazy way, and this dude got so wide open, and they inbounded the ball to him lightning fast. You see it on TV. You can't really appreciate it until you either try to do this yourself, which is impossible, or maybe if you're in the room, in the arena, to see how fast these people are. But from my time doing the NBA G League, basketball players are the greatest athletes. They are so incredible. The speed, the strength, the quickness, the power, the dexterity, the finesse, adjusting in the air. I mean, seriously, man, basketball players, my God, and they're giants. How the hell can giants do this shit? You got the smallest guy on the court is 6'5". But anyway, this guy from Oral Roberts, he gets the ball, and just the idea of running at top speed while you're dribbling the ball, then you have to stop on a dime, jump straight up in the air, 8 feet or however high these guys go, and launch a three-pointer with incredible precision. That is just insane. And that's exactly what this guy did. And I couldn't believe how open of a look this guy for Oral Roberts got. And he put this thing up, and I'm like, holy crap. And it just donked right off the front of the rim. And I was like, oh my God, it did not go in. Incredible. Arkansas, bullet dodged. Oral Roberts, out. That is that. Okay. So then, finishing up the pizza, UCLA, Alabama. Okay. And then actually, this one, I actually watched it in bed last night as the game finished up. And that was intense. My God, UCLA, these guys, they were shitty all year, okay? They sucked, and they barely got to that stupid play-in game, because there's more than 64 teams, and you take the ultra shitty teams that are like big-name schools in some cases, and they play each other to see who gets the 11th seed. Well, UCLA was one of those shitty teams. They took on another shitty team, Michigan State, and they beat the hell out of them. Well, they beat them in overtime. But so UCLA, this is incredible that they're this far. They're taking on Alabama, number 2 seed. Holy crap. And it was unbelievable because Alabama, late in the game, they're down by 3. And another unbelievable play. Inbound the ball. Dude holy crap. This guy who put up the 3-pointer for Alabama, he was so far back. I swear, if you look at the 3-point arc and the mid-court line, he was between those, like right in the middle, the split equally. And I'm like, okay, that is so far from the rim, okay? I couldn't punt the ball that far, okay? Let alone in the air, the ball, your arms over your head, you able to, with precision and accuracy, throw this thing that fucking far, and it goes in. Son of a bitch. It was incredible. Oh my God. And that ties the game. Okay, so UCLA is like, oh God, here, this is crazy. These guys are a real Cinderella team here. But Alabama thinks, all right, we got them to overtime. And then, by the way, prior to that, Alabama was in that spot that they were down 3 because they could not make free throws. They were terrible. How can a team that they got great 3-pointers on that team, Alabama, how can that team that has such precision from that far away downtown not sink an uncontested, simple fucking free throw? They were terrible. There was one point late at some jerk missed 2. Oh my God, which I think would have put them up. I can't remember. I don't know. But then in overtime, much the same. They can't sink a free throw. They're terrible. And UCLA just kicks their ass in overtime. I know you're like, hey, Zane, you a UCLA fan? No, I don't give a shit about those guys. I just like the sweatshirt. So, yeah, that was just something, man. And so UCLA, now they advance. In fact, there's games for tonight and tomorrow. There's games. And let's see who's playing. I don't even know. Doesn't even matter. The next two days games are lead to the Final Four. You got Oregon State. They're a Cinderella. And Houston. Houston should win that. Number 1 Baylor versus number 3 Arkansas. Gonzaga, the number 1 seed overall. They're beating the shit out of everybody this year. They haven't lost all year. They play USC. USC won yesterday and against Oregon, I think. And then Michigan, UCLA. Man, so tonight and tomorrow. So Michigan plays. When would they play? Michigan plays on Tuesday. Right. Weren't these? Why is this Friday to Tuesday now? Wasn't it Thursday to Sunday? Every other year that this has ever happened? The games start on Thursday, they end on Sunday, kids back in school Monday, right? No one, it's not like it matters back in school. Everybody's doing their homework for these guys anyway. It doesn't matter. But, yeah, I always thought it was different. So that was cool. Feel good. Watched the basketball for a change. Fell in love with it all over again. Made the frickin' Mediterranean pizza. Yes. Okay. Feeling good. this morning, as you get up and get around, a lot of people are like, oh my God, it's free. What? That gigantic barge in the Suez Canal, which I couldn't even have told you where in the world this thing was, the Suez Canal. I had heard of that, but I'm not even sure what the hell that is. Suez Canal is a shipping lane. And it's somewhere in, I don't know, Egypt? It's an artificial sea level waterway in Egypt, connects the Mediterranean Sea to the Red Sea through the Isthmus of Suez, dividing Africa and Asia. So they got sick and tired of having to take the long way around way back when, and some dude started to make the Suez Canal. It took 10 years to get this thing done. That's impressive. They basically just cut a frickin' shipping lane through the two continents. For them to do that, it cut 8 to 10 days on shipping time. 5,500 miles was saved when they eventually finished this thing. So initially, you could just put one ship through there at a time. They all kind of follow each other, go through. Well, this barge, and if you've seen images of this barge, it's as long as the Empire State Building. My God. And it is just the idea of so many shipping containers, because you got the barge itself, or the freighter, whatever the hell it is, and then it's stacked up all of these shipping containers. Like frickin', it's a giant Jenga game. And it's like, my God, you would think that if there's any rough sea whatsoever, that thing is just going to topple. It's really a engineering marvel to see that and how shit gets from point A to point B. Well, this barge, I don't know how. I mean, you got one job, and that's keep the ship straight, right? I mean, how can you screw this up? This thing, there was high wind and I guess a sandstorm, and the dummy who was navigating it through this thing, all of a sudden the ship is sideways and it runs aground. It's going across the canal. So you got all these boats are like, come on, move it, get the fuck out of the way. And they're piling up behind the dude. And he's like, hey, fuck you, man. I'm stuck. Eat shit. I can't get this thing out of here. And it's stuck so bad. You won't believe this thing. It's like you take one look at it and it's going to be there forever. And so all of these other boats are piling up. And now you can just see the prices on goods in whatever parts of the world just rising. Isn't that how it works? Oh, boy, supply, demand. It's not here. We're going to have to raise the price and screw the little man. Here you go, because this asshole got the boat stuck. So this thing is choking everything. And, up until this morning, this thing was like, I think it's going to be here forever. Like, what are we going to do? We're going to have to blow this thing up. We're going to have to do a military strike and destroy this thing and sink it and take it out part by part in order to clear up the shipping lane. But they're saying this morning that it's partially floating now, which I didn't even know it wasn't even floating. It's so aground. It's like not even really, it's kind of like one side is held up on ground. The other side, it's like a big freaking bridge. So they're saying now that it came partially free. And I guess there's all sorts of tugboats doing their thing, trying to get it free. But wow, what an absolute catastrophe. And it isn't until you see it at ground level and you realize how unbelievably enormous this thing is. Absolutely incredible. So there you go. Hopefully they'll get that thing out of there sometime soon. All right. Hope you're enjoying the start of this podcast. I've got the chat now on the screen, and I'm getting I got some response. People saying I love it on there because we can now see what other people are talking about and things that they're thinking. What is Paul saying? Zane, hold on a second. I can't even see it. It's probably a bad idea for me to do this. Yeah, don't do it, Eric. It's gonna mess with your head. Focus. Do like Carl. Focus. This weekend, we showed up again at Captain Bizarro's. And, for those of you who don't know, this guy has a vintage store full of everything collectible. Everything. There isn't a thing in the world that is junk to Captain Bizarro. He has an idea about how everything is priced and how everything can be sold, and it has value. So we stumbled upon him, just a little bit of the backstory, by accident. I had been into the store many times and actually interacted with this guy. His real name is Tim over the years. Once in a while, I'd go into the store and just kind of look at stuff. And he came up on the show. I called him and introduced myself, and it wasn't long before Zaniac Megan said, hey, let's go help him set up his store because his store had kind of like fallen into disarray and need a little TLC to get it up and running. Organization, cleaning. So our second weekend of doing this was Saturday. Now, we had some new faces there. Megan actually couldn't make the very first time we went, but she was there for the most recent one the other day. And we had a lot of return people and some new people. Thank you to Kevin Kuipers was there. He was new. John Reitzel and his lovely daughters were there helping out. My pal Jason and his mother Jerry were there. Lisa's husband Eric was there. I think I'm getting the new people right. Of course, I had the Mazes there, Trisha and Jason. The Schaefers were there and their kids, Rylan and Nick. And I think I might be forgetting somebody. If I am, sorry, but I got to keep the story going. So, all right. Now, here's the thing. Megan, you got to understand. Megan is the type of personality that she's an organizer. She's one that's kind of like take charge. And I got the impression that if things don't start to happen at a pace that's going to be copacetic with her noggin, she's going to be like, all right, what's going on? Well, come on. And so you got to understand, in this room, nothing's thrown away. It's all piled up. Now, we're already one weekend into it. It's 1,000,000 times better than it was the weekend we were at there before, okay? And it still looks like a disaster area. And so for Megan to be surrounded by a disaster area with no real marching order as to what we're doing, she's like, I can see her. She's just like looking around. The gears are spinning. She's getting ready to start kicking people's ass. And so at some point, she's like, okay, what are we doing? And I'm like, okay. I'm thinking to myself, it'll all work out. We'll suddenly get a plan, because Tim is not that way. Tim is like, oh, yeah, I don't know yet. We'll just have to. So it basically involves just grabbing shit and moving it. And so you're like moving things to move things to move things. This is not an efficient setup in any way, shape, or form. Okay? It's basically just hang out, move things, and clean things. And eventually it'll get there. That's the best way to describe this. There is not a set plan. And I it's really, seriously, it would be easier cleaning the world's worst hoarder, cleaning their house. It would be easier because you just take the shit and you throw it away. You know, you're throwing away dead cats and there's just shit on the floor. Here, there's no dead cats, but nothing is thrown away. Even though I'm like, hey, Tim, this is a piece of wood. I can just throw this away. Oh, no. No way. No, you cannot throw that away. Oh, my God. this is like the second weekend in a row where Zaniacs spent money. I think Tim made like $350 2 weeks ago, and I think he made about the same this week because Zaniacs find shit and then they buy it. Lisa's husband, he bought like a couple of old handheld electronic games, and then Kevin Kuiper, oh, fuck, man, I'm fucking hammered. Oh, fuck, man. Hey, man, what am I doing on this 80?
Are we going to be buying another third beer?
Fuck off, I'm hammered.
Fuck off, I'm hammered.
Fuck, man, I'm fucking hammered.
Fuck, man, I'm fucking hammered.
He's there, and he notices a baseball card in one of the display cases, and he goes, that's it. I'm buying that. It's a pre-draft Derek Jeter card. 1992. He has not yet been drafted by the Yankees. Now, Tim has a pretty good knowledge of every single piece of merchandise or whatever it is inside of that store. He's priced everything. So, but I don't know. Maybe this slipped through the cracks or what. But this Jeter card was on sale for, I don't know, maybe like $50. And so we did a quick look at the Jeter card to see its value. And I guess it has to be graded or whatever, or there's something that makes it. That exact same card that we're looking at by our untrained eye is selling online for about $6,500. So now there's other ones that are selling for less, and I don't know what makes them different than what makes those two different. But all I know is that in that display case, that card is looking at Kuipers and I. And Kuiper goes, fuck, man, I'm fucking buying that shit. Fuck, yeah. So he does. He actually bought that and a bunch of other shit. So near the end of the afternoon, and thanks to Terry, he spent the dough and bought the pizza from BC Pizza. Thank you very much for that. Hanging out with Bizarro, who's talking nonstop, and we're doing our thing. And I'm resting my old tired legs. I'm seated, and then Kuipers is there looking at the baseball cards that he's getting ready to buy. It's me, Kuipers, Bizarro, I think the Mazes, Jason and Trish. Yeah, they were definitely there. And there might have been two other people there. But we're getting done. We're all in a group. All of a sudden, Kuipers very quickly walks away. And so I think at that point, I think I'm going to move too. And I just happen to get up, and I happen to be right behind him. And he turns around and says, fuck, man, I fucking farted and it stinks. So the dude floats an air biscuit. And he sensed that there was trouble. And so he leaves it for these guys. He gets the hell out of there. And then I look back to see if I can see wrinkled up faces. I go, oh, yeah, come on. Oh, my God. So we kind of left it right there. Kevin left it right there. And there wasn't much more to do at that point. Bizarro wants to open up on Thursday. He actually has a lot of foot traffic come in there. We got several groups of people that came in and just wanted to see it. It's like, hey, we're just reorganizing right now. And I think he's going to do okay, but he's got a lot of work to do still. So at some point, we must get back over there. This weekend is Easter. I'm not going to be available to do that. But still want to help him get things going. I go, you can move merchandise in here on eBay, but you got to do it through Facebook. You got to market yourself. So he doesn't really know how to do that. So I promised him I'd help him out. And just, I appreciate all the help, all the people that came out of the woodwork just to help this guy. You don't know him. I mean, how great is that? That is again, another type of thing that the Zaniacs do. Just got to help people out. So that is very, very kind of y'all to do that. And it was fun. I enjoyed myself. I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys. Kuipers cracks me up, man. Holy shit, is he funny. My God. Coming up on this show, I indicated on the tease on Facebook and the other live streams. Oh, boy. A little bit of an embarrassing thing that happened in front of the entire parish at the 11 o'clock Mass at my beloved Holy Redeemer Catholic Church. Okay? I was asked to help out at Mass, and I even have audio of what happened for you. I left you Friday on this show letting you know about the issue with the sump pump. A lot of you saw it over on Facebook, and I even addressed it on the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. But for those of you who don't know, I must touch on this again. Now, there are very few of you had any faith in me, okay? I need to cover that. At this house this weekend, we got to a tipping point. We had a very brown weekend at this house with the NFK, and it led to an important moment that I need to share with you. My God. Also, today, in about 40 minutes, I'm going to get into the story where a lady where I live discovered something buried deep in her mom's backyard. I absolutely love this story. I cannot wait to talk about it. It's just like, I'm like, what? That happened? Oh my God, I am all about that. Very, very cool. Email of the day brought to you by Forever Law in West Michigan. We'll get to that. We're going to award an asshole of the day, I think. I don't know. Yeah, I think I've got an asshole of the day. Based on the stories that I have for you, I've got an asshole of the day. Friday's asshole of the day was the pedophile living under the bed. We've got a new one today, I think. Some of the stories on asshole of the day are just so damn dark. It's like I hate talking about them. You see, there's a story that's bubbling under. It's amazing how this works, but I think it's fair. In Washington, D.C., I talked to you about the Uber Eats guy or the DoorDash guy. I forgot what he was. He was a delivery dude. The 66-year-old guy who went in to deliver his food or whatever, and the 13 and the 15-year-old tried to steal his car, 13 and 15-year-old girls. And he gets in the car, and they're like, all right, drive. We're gonna steal your car. And he gets to the parking lot of the Nationals Park, baseball park, and they say, all right, get out. So as he's getting out, they drive off in the car, but he gets stuck, and he's like being dragged. And then they took a sharp turn, and he went flying, and the impact killed him. And so then they rolled. It was a car. It was a rollover. They ended up getting hurt. There's a couple National Guard guys there, still left over from the whatever that the insurrection was. They rescue these criminals, and we talked about it Friday. How the hell? I mean, you think about your kids at 13 and 15, plotting a felony offense like this of car theft. They end up killing the guy. And now they're charged with murder or whatever. Did you see how the mayor of D.C. didn't even address it? I mean, this is all bullshit. And the CNN described it as an accident killed the delivery guy. It was an accident claimed his life. What are you fucking talking about? These stupid bitches killed the guy. Holy shit. I mean, like really weirdo type of approach on describing the story, and some people aren't even touching it at all. You know, we're at a weird spot, and these are African-American girls. There's a weird spot in the world right now because it's almost like people don't want to touch the story because of race. And it's like, are you crazy? What the hell? 13 and 15-year-old carjacking. Yeah. Unbelievable. There's some shocking video that goes with it, and I haven't gotten up the nerve to I haven't even gotten the nerve to actually watch the damn thing yet because I think it's pretty ugly. But my God, Sorry, it's just burning on my brain. Really bothered me that happened. Okay. The open and the live stream of the Eric Zane Show podcast brought to you by TC Paintball. Online at tcpaintballgr.com. Thanks again to Rick for always for being there for me from way back. Back when I got fired from GRD. He was there for me. And back here with this too. Wednesdays at TC Paintball. If you've got a young kid that's kind of spending way too much time looking at video games, and you're like, boy, man, my kid hates sports, but I wish that he or she would get up and move around a little. Okay, combine the video game world with the exercise world, and you get TC Paintball with the kids' leagues. There's no commitment. You just walk in off the street. Starts at 5 p.m. Check-in starts at 5. Play starts at 5:30. Please pre-register by calling or emailing Rick. All the info is available at tcpaintballgr.com. If you miss any of this, I can put you in touch with them. 8 to 12-year-olds is the Little League's low-impact equipment. Doesn't hurt. Gets them used to the game. The teen leagues for the older kids up to 18 using traditional welt-making equipment. It's awesome. Hey, Zane, look at my welt, said Bo. Again, no weekly commitment on that. Get the kids moving. Real-life video game. Oh, my gosh. Love the Village. So much fun. The whole place is fun. Great entertainment attraction in West Michigan. And, dare I say, the most affordable fun in the paintball world this side of Metro Detroit. Try to have the fun that you want to have in Detroit. You're going to pay a lot more for it. Hell, it's a destination adventure. All right. We have tentatively the next Paintball War is coming up on Sunday, May 16th. That's a 5 p.m. start for Paintball War number 14, still untitled. And then we'll do one in August, looking like Sunday, August 1st for Paintball War 15. Thank you to Rick from TC Paintball, tcpaintballgr.com. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. They're still looking for help if you are an ASC certified mechanic. 616-532-6600 to inquire about that. Or if you just need anything repaired on the car. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, 616-532-6600. If you are taking a trip via car for spring break, do have the car looked at before you leave. No matter what, just have them check it out. Make sure that everything is up and running. You do have a place that you can take your car to where you can trust. You can trust these people. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. 616-532-6600. Okay. All right. The kidneys are, the kidney, I should say, is like, okay, Eric, we got to go. Your old pal Eric's got to do it again. Hold that thought. You're like, Zane, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, man. Yeah, I couldn't pee. I just stood there for like ever and was like, wait a minute, what? How come it isn't going? Okay. All right. Where was I? Okay, you're going to love this, man. You are going to love this story. Because I look like a jackass. The folks from church reached out and they go, hey, it's Palm Sunday. Will you guys read the Passion? Gospel according to Mark for yesterday's Mass. It's on Palm Sunday. You read the part, this long gospel, which is the whole saga of, this is Holy Week. Okay, so for Catholics, and you on this gospel reading, you almost like have multiple people reading it. You have a narrator, and then there's voices, and then there's the voice of Jesus. And what you do is in the gospel, you instead of just one person reading it, it's divided into parts. So they asked Diana and I to be part of this. So you've got Father Colin, Diana, and myself. Diana and I are on one side by the ambo, up right near a microphone. Father's on the other side, and then so I have a huge part in this as the narrator of this Bible verse. I'm just looking at it right now. Passion reading. So this is the actual gospel according to Mark. So if you were looking at it, it would the Passion of our Lord Jesus Christ according to Mark, the Passover, and I would actually start out with the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread were to take place in 2 days' time. So the chief priests and the scribes were seeking a way to arrest him by treachery and put him to death. And then Diana, she would read, they said, not during the festival for fear that there may be a riot among the people. And then I'm the narrator. I say, when he was in Bethany, reclining at table in the house of Simon the leper, a woman came with an alabaster jar of perfumed oil, costly, genuine spikenard. She broke the alabaster jar and poured it on his head. There were some who were indignant. And then, so you get the idea. And then when Jesus speaks, Father's playing that part, reading those portions of the gospel. So now, as this starts, and we live stream it, so for people who can't make it, they can see it, or maybe they're not comfortable coming to church, or they're sick, or whatever. So there's an accounting of this. There's audio, and like sometimes when I start the podcast, you can tell there's like my throat is a little jizzy, and you can hear the little jizz remnants moving in there, and I'm like I'm coughing hard, that happened. So I'm like battling that while I'm reading, and it's weird for someone who speaks for as much as I do every single day. When you're there and you're, I'm not ad-libbing, I'm just reading. All I got to do is read the damn thing. For some reason, this was difficult, and I'm trying to like make eye contact with people in the who are in the congregation, and but all the while I'm like, yeah, it has a slight bit of jizziness to the way it sounds, which is always awful. I hate that, and it's driving me crazy. At one point, I when I wasn't speaking, like Diana's reading her part, I would turn away and go, I'm doing that, and I'm like, oh, and at one point I'm like, excuse me, and so it was just terrible. So that's in my head, and then there is a place that is described in this gospel called Gethsemane, and it's spelled Gethsemane. So it looks like Gethsemane. Gethsemane. So if you were to say Gethsemane, that's weird to say. So in my head, though, I'm supposed to say Gethsemane, but I'm not. I'm supposed to say Gethsemane. Listen to me stutter like a freaking moron when reading this part in front of all these people.
And they all spoke similarly. Then they came to a place named Gethsemane, and he said to his disciples.
So I knew it sounded terrible. I knew I sounded like I was special.
Gethsemane.
Oh, God.
And they all spoke similarly. Then they came to a place named Gethsemane,
Did you hear
and
it?
he said to his disciples.
I went, Okay, so I felt bad about that. And I know you're like, it's no big deal. Saying, yeah, to me it is. And fast forward, and there's more to the story. When I'm walking out of church, there's this guy named Pete. And I've known Pete. I'll just say it. It's Ferrasi. I've known Ferrasi forever. And Pete's an old school Italian dude, you know. And he's like 150. And so I'm walking out, and of course, there's going to be one guy who's going to say something, and it's going to be him. Hey, so you got tripped up on Gethsemane. Ha! And I'm like, yeah, now what I want to, what I want to say. It's what I've been saying for the past 2 years and 3 months, which is go fuck yourself. But I figured it would be poor form. Now I was so close to just letting it fly. I was like, yeah, you fucking dago, go fuck yourself. But I didn't. I held off. So you're proud of me about that, size of the problem. So I was like, yeah, thanks for pointing it out, Pete. And that was that. So on my way. And then prior to that, though, some lady, I'm always suspicious when people give me compliments. I'm always suspicious. So anybody who knows me knows that. So this lady walks up to me before Pete lowers the boob. And she's like, you did a very good job reading. And I thought to myself, I don't think I did. And I think you're just saying that because it was shitty and you're just trying to make me feel better. Because I don't think it was very good at all. Because there's another thing I want to tell you about here in a second that has me thinking. So during this gospel reading, it goes from me with jizz throat, turning around, coughing, saying, excuse me, not being able to say Gethsemane.
Gethsemane.
To me, and for this other thing I'm going to tell you about, which I haven't told you about that happened, it wasn't a very good job. So this lady, I know it sucked, not only because Pete the Dago is telling me hey, good job at Gethsemane. This lady is saying I did a good job. To me, it's shitty. So that's what's happening. But the problem wasn't done yet. Near the end of this gospel reading, and boy, is it long. Okay, where is it? This is, there's a lot of people named Mary in this gospel verse. There is Mary, the mother of Jesus. There's Mary Magdalene, and apparently another Mary, which I did not know. But so when I'm reading this portion, I'm thinking that the third Mary is Mary, the mother of Jesus. But I was wrong. I'm not that skilled, and I don't know the Bible that well. So this part says there were also women looking on from a distance. Among them were Mary Magdalene. Now, it says Mary, the mother of the younger James. And for some reason, I got in my head that the Mary I'm describing is Jesus' mom. But it wasn't. It was another lady named Mary, who's the mother of the younger James. And I should have known that this was a different Mary because she had no more children. Mother Mary had no more kids. So, but in my brain, I'm convinced they're talking about Jesus' mom. So I'm confused because it says Mary, the mother of the younger James, and then it says and the name it says, I think it's a typo. Mary, the mother of the younger James, and it says and of Joses, Joses. Now, in my brain, I'm thinking that's a typo, and it's supposed to say Jesus. You can tell when I say this that I'm in the weeds. Listen.
The veil of the sanctuary was torn in two from top to bottom. When the centurion who stood facing him saw how he breathed his last, he said,
Truly, this man was the Son of God.
Queen of the Forest.
Please stand.
Father Colin. I'll stand. This is when I get in the weeds.
There were also women looking on from a distance. Among them were Mary Magdalene, Mary, the mother of the younger James and of Joses, and Salome.
Okay. Did you hear that? I'm stumbling through it because I'm thinking. That's why there was the pause at Joses. I'm like, did I just say? And now in my brain, I'm like, did I just say Joses and that's really Jesus? Did I say that wrong? And did Jesus have a brother named James? No, he didn't. They're talking about another lady named Mary who had two kids, James and Joseph. Read it as it says. But I've convinced myself that it should be Jesus there. Now, the name Joseph, I didn't even know the name Joseph is in the Bible. It is. And so later on in the verse, I'm finishing the verse. They have put Jesus in the tomb. Okay? Now, Joseph of Arimathea has laid him in there, and he's going to close the frickin' thing with the rock. He's going to roll the stone over there. All right, we're done. Let's go home. And so it was Joseph was there, and the two Marys, Magdalene and Mary, the mother of Joseph and James. They're there, but not Jesus' mother. Jesus' mother is not there because Arimathea gets the body. He puts him in the tomb. They close it. Joseph of Arimathea and the Marys go, okay, our work is done here. Let's go home. You know, they have no idea that in 3 days it's going to be like, yeah, he's gone. Roll away the stone. Holy shit. So, all right, there's that. And all I have to say is Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of Joseph, watched where he was laid, the gospel of the Lord. That's it. That's all you got to do. But now I've convinced myself that the name Joseph is Jesus. So I have now changed the actual people that are seen where Mary wasn't there. His mom was not there. Listen to this.
Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of Jesus, watched where he was laid.
Mary, the mother of Jesus, watched. That was me changing the Bible verse.
Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of Jesus, watched where he was laid.
Oh, so now all these old school Catholics are sitting there with scrunched up faces like, you idiot. You totally changed it. I'll never be asked to do that again. What an idiot. Oh, it was horrible. Complete failure on my part. I feel so bad about that. My gosh. Oh. Man. Megan says Joseph, LOL. Amanda says, I thought it was Palm Sunday yesterday. Yeah, it was. I said that. What are you doing? Of course it was. That's exactly what I said. Oh, my gosh. I felt so bad about that. Nick, Eric Zane, Mad Lib, Bible study. Marcy, of course, Eric thinks he can rewrite the Bible. Come on. I didn't think it was rewriting the Bible. I thought it was a typo. Oh, my gosh. pain in the ass Dirk convinced he's right enough to even change the Bible. You guys, come on. That is horrible. Okay. Holy Week. You got Holy Thursday, Good Friday, Easter Vigil, Saturday, Super Bowl of Catholicism. My gosh. We're talking a 3-hour mass, litany of saints, the whole catechumens, that we're getting people conversions, baptisms, first communions, confirmations, all in one. Oh my gosh. I don't think they'll ask me to help. Man, I hope so. I feel bad. All right, wasn't all bad this weekend though. I went into that all cocky. I was like, I don't need to pre-read it. I can just go ahead and wing it. You know, I know how to read. I can do this. No, I can't. It was horrible. Okay, we talked about this on Friday. Changing gears here completely. About how Friday at this point I was very concerned about the idea about having to change out that sump pump. Excuse me. And so for some of you who already heard this, I apologize, but it all boils down to there's that thing called the check valve. I had been calling it the catch valve, but it's a check valve. So look, really simple. The pump is in this well, and the house is constantly trying to fill up with water. The pump, the float gets to a certain level, triggers the pump. The water leaves, goes up through a pipe, and then gets taken way outside of the house, and then that's it, you know? And then, but since it's going straight up, it wants to come back down. The check valve only goes one way, and then it closes when the water hits it. So then it's just stuck in that pipe. Now, if you're changing the sump pump out, which this thing was a disaster, it was all corroded. And so I got it out, but not without a real catastrophe, because that check valve, it connects the lower pipe and the upper pipe by these two rubber coupling boots, okay? Now, if you loosen the lower portion of that check valve, and then you just pull out the pipe, that's it. But I didn't do it that way because I'm an idiot. And this is the second time this has happened. The first time it happened was when I changed the actual check valve. This time, though I know, now it's worse because I know how the check valve works. I did the same thing, though. I loosened the thing above the check valve. The screw's a clamp. And I pulled the pipe out, and sure as shit, man, a fucking water hose, Selma, Alabama, right to the face. Oh, my God, it's happening again. Holy shit, what the fuck? I'm so stupid. I put it all back together and tighten it all down. I'm soaking wet again. It's draining off my face. My TC paintball sweatshirt's soaked. There's water everywhere. I go on Facebook Live. I'm like, oh, my God, I fucked it up. I don't know what to do. This is terrible. Holy shit. And then it dawns on me. I go, oh, no, the valve is not busted. So just take it off below the valve, you idiot. Then it's the water stops at the valve. Like it's supposed to. I got numerous people helping me that sent the messages. Pellerito said, hey, dude, dummy, above the valve. You don't want to be above the valve. You want to be below the valve. But I had figured that out beforehand. I mean, I should say after I got blasted in the face with the Selma water hose. So I loosened it. I loosened it below, and I got it out, okay, and then pulled this thing out. Okay, done. I didn't even need to put the backup pump into there. Remember, I had like a portable pump. I was telling you I was going to drain the water with it. Unnecessary, because there's an entirely different pipe network for the other pump, the backup. So I don't even need that damn thing. So the backup is doing its job. I go to the store. The pumps are cheap. I didn't realize that. Only like $117 for a new pump. Comes with a float on it. It's awesome. And so then while I'm getting it ready to install, freaking Boring Dean comes walking in, and I cannot believe this. First of all, I try not to. I don't want to sound weird when I say this, but when he walked around the corner, I cannot get over how jacked this guy is. He is so ripped. My God, has this guy worked hard? Because he comes around the corner and he's like, you can see that he's just so jacked. And I'm like, my God, this guy has really turned it around. Because there was a time, I'll bet you Dean was about 25 pounds heavier and looked like a big pile of shit. But now this guy is, and all he's done is like push-ups and pull-ups. So there he is. I go, hey, what's up, Dean? And he's like, yeah, he's sniffing his fingers because I think he just grabbed Diana's ass. And so he shows up there, and it's all weird because he's like putting his arm around Diana, and then he asks my 18-year-old if he says, Madison, now that you're 18, can I crack your back? And I'm like, you sick fuck. You're such an asshole. What the hell is wrong with you? It was disgusting. So he kind of supervises, but it was all me. I did this thing all by myself. There was a couple times that I was confused, but I did it. I mean, I fucked up the check valve, but this was all me. I owned this thing. I got it right. Dean is my witness. The thing looked a little wonky, and then so we adjusted it a little, but we are good. And in fact, most of you said on Twitter that I would not be successful in doing this. I actually put a poll up for you to check out. And let's see. Final results. Will I be successful replacing my sump pump? 78% of you said no. 22% said yes. The hell, I did it. Feel good about it, too. All right. Sorry. All sorts of random things going on today. All right. Plenty more to get to on the show. I want to pause to tell you about Patreon, which you already all know about. You know how I do this thing. But the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast this week was just, my God, it just seems to be getting better and better and better. The idea that you can, if you're on Patreon, be part of the audience on Zoom is turning out to be so much fun. And that was never planned. It just kind of happened. You must be with us for the video live stream on my Patreon for the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. It happens on Fridays at 7 p.m. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. P as in Paul, ATREON.com/Eric Zane. $5 or $10 a month. $5 is the entire audio archive and any new audio video for the $10 a month and the live streams and the audio. It's all there. I have 5 shows. The Ben and Eric Patreon podcast, the Lost Zane recordings, Insane Asylum, Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer Trivia, where Dale's going to take on Tio from South Dakota tomorrow. And then, of course, the daily bonus Patreon podcast. It's all there for you on my Patreon. $5 or $10 a month. If you like it, you can either let it ride month to month and it comes out, or you can convert it to a yearly, pay all at once, and I'll save you 10% when you do that. And if you're an existing Patreon member, you can convert it at any time you want. Or if you think, I just can't keep up with it, Zane, or it stinks, cancel it. You get the rest of that month. Stand by. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. A&E Heating and Cooling. Joe Martinez and his crew. 616-516-8579. I know he got a kick out of the story about me replacing the sump pump. Joe put it in there in the first place. Joe worked for the man back in the day. He helped install all of that. That's how I met Joe. And now he has his own thing and saving you a ton of money at A&E Heating and Cooling. Already the lowest prices that you will find anywhere. You add in the Zane Show discount. Say to him, hey, Zane mentioned me. How much are you going to give me off for whatever it is you're doing for me? Could be a furnace replacement, air conditioning replacement, any type of work, even a water heater. If you need a water heater replaced, it can do that for you too. A&E Heating and Cooling, 616-516-8579. Call me for sump pump replacement. Record it, and it'll be funny. Utilizing the Comfort Maker brand of air conditioners and furnaces. Gift of Life, Michigan. I, Eric Zane, am an official media ambassador with Gift of Life, Michigan. Thank you to them for reaching out to me to have me talk about their initiatives, okay? We are wrapping up National Kidney Month. If you want more information, and all I'm asking you to do is fill out your donor registration, okay? And to do that, you go to Gift of Life, the Gift of Life logo at ericzaneshow.com. And that's where you start. Once you click on that, it takes you right to the page and how you can be a donor in the unlikely event that something happens to you. Well, that's one thing we all have in common, and you can take it with you. So save up to 8 lives with what you have. And you can change the lives for the better of up to 75 people with corneas and skin and things like that. I know it sounds crazy to even consider or think about, but that is a reality. And you too can save. Your organs can go on living for many, many years and help many, many people. So please consider that. Thank you to my friends at Gift of Life, Michigan. Okay. Boy, I saw this story, and this looked just so freaking cool. My dad, not long ago, gave me a metal detector. And I haven't used it once. First, he tried to sell it to me. I'll sell that to you for $50, not a penny less. Okay, Dad, I'll buy it. It's got like the headphones. You plug it into the thing. You walk over. It's like it makes a noise when you go over something metal. Yeah, it's a simple device. And so I haven't used it yet, but I want to, and I'm looking forward to that. But then you start digging once you hear there's metal, and then the next thing you know, you got something. Something right up with that is magnet fishing. Have you heard of magnet fishing? People drop this big, powerful magnet on like a line in the water, and they see what they can pull up, and you find cool shit. That's exciting to me. I love that. Lady here on the northeast side of Grand Rapids, she is all about that. Lara, Lara, Lara LeBrier is her name. And she and her kids, according to this article from Fox 17, says that's the thing to do. Grab the fishing magnet or the metal detector and start looking for stuff. Okay. Somehow, some way, they decided to look in the backyard of the childhood home of Laura. The kid's grandmother lives there now, still. So they're wandering around with the metal detector, and something fantastic has happened. And I'm going to bring her in to talk about it. I appreciate her for doing this. Reached out to her over the weekend.
Hello, this is Laura.
Laura, how are you? It's Eric Zane.
Hey, Eric, how are you?
Never better. Thanks for taking the time.
Great. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine. Thank you again.
Happy to do it.
Yes. Okay. So, first of all, spirit animal here, because the idea of metal detector and fishing magnet are right up my alley. In fact, I was just telling the audience, I have a metal detector, but I've never even used it. My dad gave it to me. But that's kind of what you and your kids do is things like this, right?
That's what we do. My dad gave us my first metal detector also. That's what got us started.
Okay. So now I've never used it, like I said. So once it goes off, what do? You just start digging wherever it may be and then hope to find something fantastic?
Well, that's one method. I upgraded a bit to a metal detector that discriminates a bit better and tells me within reason what I'm looking for. I also have a smaller handheld metal detector that kind of pinpoints exactly in the ground where I need to dig so that my holes don't need to be too big,
right,
typically.
Yeah. So
yeah.
The and I'll get to the big thing that happened in a second for people who don't know. But over the years you've been doing this, have you turned up some valuable things?
Oh yeah. I mean, I find a lot of a lot of common coins. That adds up. Also, some uncommon coins like buffalo nickels and wheathead pennies, which can become pretty valuable sometimes.
Right.
But yeah, it adds up. We found, some chains, like necklaces before. And yeah, honestly, even the trash junk is pretty exciting to find.
Yeah,
It
I
feels
know it.
good pulling that stuff out of the earth.
Okay, so what in the world drew you to your childhood home's backyard?
Um, we have always found weird things back there, and I know it's an old house, so I guess just that's not where I planned on spending all my week. I really wanted to go out to the lake shore, but we started there to try and do some light work, and what it became kept us there all week. So
Okay.
just pretty much by accident.
So go ahead and tell the audience, because I haven't yet revealed what you have uncovered in the backyard of your childhood home.
Yeah. Well, we were digging in this specific spot because we kept pulling up old things like poured glass and handmade nails, belt buckles, and these things were all very, very old and old. I think you call it a cobbler. People used to make shoes, a shoehorn covered in rust. And it was so strange to find all these things in the backyard. A shotgun shell from a Winchester in the 1800s. What? So we keep digging, and suddenly the ground gives way. There's a hole in the ground where it becomes hollow. And I wasn't sure at first if it was, I don't know, was I cutting into the foundation of the house, or was this going to be War of the Worlds?
Right.
Keep digging.
Yeah, I can just imagine that. I bet you there was even an element of danger as that happened,
I started getting adrenaline. So I think excited and nervous feel the same. I'd have to say it was more excited. So I'm yelling for my mom to come outside. My kids are, horrified. And, I start making the hole bigger, and I hit what I thought was a pipe. So of course I'm going to stop, and I take out my smaller tools and start carving around it. And it was actually a fully intact glass bottle. Pull it out. It's an old bottle of gin. So I kind of reached my hand in the hole, and I think I should have thought twice before I just did that. There's no telling what could have been in there,
right.
But I had to know. So I start diving in and making it bigger, and I realized that this is a cavern lined with what appeared to be bricks, and it was huge. It was bigger than, we never knew this was back there, and
Right.
It's going the opposite way of my mother's house. So I'm thinking that we found an underground tunnel system.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we went head first. Well, I went head first into it. And the way that the hole is right now, you have to rest your head inside the hole and then reach underneath your body
Right.
to get into it with a flashlight.
Wow.
And tools to make your arms longer. And we started pulling out, oh man, glass liquor bottle, a lot of glass liquor bottles, old cans that some of them were still intact, some of them were completely rusted through, and just a lot of weird things under there. Yeah. So
that is incredible.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that's just incredible. I can't imagine just, reaching in there. And then is your hand blindly grabbing things and bringing them out, or can you see anything before you actually lay hands on it?
Somewhat both. So I'd have a flashlight in one hand, and it's still pretty hard to see. And I wanted both of my hands because it's, I'm holding like a long pick in my left hand, and I'm trying to pull it out in my right hand. So a little bit of both. I'd have a general idea of where something was.
Yeah.
And then I would just grab at it and pull it out. I mean, incredibly, it's pretty clean down there. A lot of dirt, but
okay,
filthy.
So now, is this the type of thing where if you dig more around it, you can actually walk into it?
I'm thinking so. Yeah. So we called GPSU and had Dr. Daly come out. He's an archaeologist that teaches there. And he poked around with, I don't know why I didn't think of that, but he had a long stick that he was prodding around with to see how deep does this go. The really interesting thing about this cavern is we thought it was bricks that it was made out of that were, with concrete. Well, it's not. It's actually hand cut stone. And the way he explained it is they did this so meticulously that every stone fits together just perfectly. And if you were to pull one of those stones out, it's like a puzzle that you would never get back together. So I'm trying to be so careful. And, right now I live in Arkansas. I'm moving back to Michigan. So we've covered the hole up pretty good.
Yeah.
When I come back in a couple of weeks, my mom and I are going to really go at it. There's outhouse back there too that he said we need to look for, and I don't know. At first, I didn't understand why I would look in it for an outhouse, but he says that everything would be deteriorated by now, except for any type of junk that they would have thrown in there.
Okay.
These days, it's not junk anymore.
No.
Really cool artifacts from the 1800s.
Absolutely.
And I suspected at first it was a prohibition bunker, but I guess we're not entirely wrong, because that would have happened throughout prohibition as well. It started in the mid 1800s. My mom got the abstract to this house still from the 1800s, and Dr. Daly said this was the original house that reached all the way to the Grand River. There was no other house there. So, this is located by the Vitales on Leonard Street by Fuller. So you figure from there all the way to the Grand River, there was no other house. This was it. And that was all farmland. So the really cool part is any houses in between there and the Grand River could very well have structures like this in their yard as well.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Exciting.
So I guess, so are you getting people that are coming out of the woodwork to help you, like this archaeologist from GVSU and other people starting to, line up to actually assist you in this?
So not yet, thanks to the pandemic lingering on. I guess I'm not exactly sure why that has to do with this, but he has to be careful with the students right now, being in too close of contact with each other people. So right now, because of that, no. However, this is perfect hands-on experience, specifically for what he does, because he looks at more recent archaeology dealing with artifacts, which is what we have here. Yeah. So hopefully, if he runs a summer class, there's a good chance that he will end up bringing students out there, which is awesome. Like, what a good teacher. Yeah. What an awesome teacher to have.
Hey, you've got a business opportunity here. Once this thing gets ready, you're going to be taking tours of people through this thing. That would be awesome. Yes. Oh my gosh, Laura.
$2 to come see our pit.
You are, and how old are your kids?
Oh, 7. Well, no, he just turned 8 this week. 8 and 11.
What a cool mom doing all this fun stuff, man. My mom never did anything like this. This is awesome.
No, I've got to have them outside, and they are very energetic. Yeah. So I've got to keep up with them somehow, and this really helps them focus down. One has ADHD, and this here is like natural medicine for that kid.
Okay.
But, we've industrial strength magnets too, so we go magnet fishing.
Oh, I know it. Yeah, I see that. Hey, can I come see it? Like at a time when you get back in town, can I come and visit and look at this? I would love to see this.
You sure can. Matter of fact, I'm gonna text you my mother's cell phone. She'll let you come out sooner.
Oh man, that's awesome. Okay, but knowing my luck, I'd fall in and never get out.
You probably, if you're excited about this stuff like I am, you probably just won't want to come out. You'll probably just keep seeing more things and want to grab at it and reach for it.
That is so cool. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Laura, I really appreciate it. Congrats on the find. This is it's an awesome story. Very, very, very cool. Okay. I'm sorry?
It's going to take a lot of searching to top this.
Yeah, absolutely. But I love it.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, we'll talk to you very soon. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Bye-bye.
thank you, Laura. There you go, Laura LeBrier. She believes to have uncovered a Prohibition-era bunker in the backyard. Oh my God! When that dirt gave way, and it's like, what is happening here? I would have just peed. Oh, that is so cool. I love that stuff. Thank you to Laura for taking the time being part of that. Could be another Zaniac field trip. Uh-huh. Nick says, new fear bunker. Mitch says she's got the hard eyes. I was like, wait, what are you talking about? Megan says, wait, we all want to go. Bring us, Eric. I love GR history crap. Count on it. You got to be on Patreon. There you go. I will. There you go. Sign up for Patreon, and I will bring you to the house. I haven't yet asked permission. I'm just hoping she says yes. There you go. Another reason to sign up for Patreon. I will take you to see the Prohibition era bunker in the backyard of Laura's childhood home. Very, very cool. Adam says that is kick-ass. Hand-hewn stone is legit. Mitchell refers to it as terrestrial excitement. Nick says there's so much drop potential in this interview. I can only imagine. Mike Pellerito, take notes, man, according to Nick. I don't know what you are referring to. I don't listen to... Oh, God. I see. Tyler wrote, come look at the backyard gaping hole. Come on, guys. Are you serious? I thought I was doing something good, and here you guys are going that route. What the hell has gotten into you guys? Bunch of jackasses. You wreck everything. All right, thank you, Laura. If anybody knows Laura, don't tell her about the post-mortem on the interview because she'll be like, what is he doing? What is going on? All right. Okay. Things finally came to a brown head in the Eric Zane Show podcast household over the weekend. I kind of, up to Friday, was resigned to, well, I guess I just have to clean up after the NFK when he goes potty. Okay? And I kind of was accepting of it. And I had said to him many times, well, I said to him once, actually, but it was very involved. I go, hey, I'm leaving cleaning solution and paper towels in the bathroom when you make a mess. And I actually said, because there's feces everywhere. When you get done going poo, there's feces everywhere. You need to clean that up. He never did. So I'm like, oh, okay, I guess this is how it is. And it didn't bother me up until Friday. Friday it happened. It was horrible. Probably the worst ever. It looked like a freaking crime scene after the Hams beer shit howitzer fired its weaponry. Its rounds into the toilet on Friday. It was so bad. Talked about it on the podcast. Saturday I wake up. Same thing. The shit howitzer is just, oh my God. Horrible. And so from the moment of impact to when I actually discover it is significant time has passed on Saturday. And what happens is he gets up from the throne and he doesn't lift to check to see if there's a catastrophe. Out of sight, out of mind. So, all right. Then I go number one. I lift the seat and, hey, how you doing? There you go. And I'm like, oh my God. So I clean it. And then I go up and I talk to Diane. I go, I think I got to say something. I think I have to say something. She goes, no, don't. I go, why? She says, it's going to embarrass him. And, we'll just deal with it and take it as it comes. We'll just we do his laundry. We clean up after him. That's how, and he pays for food. So that's the exchange. And I'm like, yeah, I know. But you see, it's just so difficult because hours after it happens, it's not an easy cleanup job. When you have to bust out a putty knife, and that's true. I have a putty knife to get this done. That's absurd. While I'm upstairs talking to her, I hear Penguinstein walking through the house again. And then the doors slam. And I go, he's going to the bathroom again. Well, maybe he's going number one. Sure enough, I walk back in there, and the seat is down. So no, he's the Hamsbeer shit howitzer has had a rare firing, like the guns of Navarone, second time in one morning. And I lift up the seat, and sure enough, I'm like, my God, again? Are you serious? Okay, clean it up. Now, I said to Dan, I go, I think I need to show him that there's a problem. But then I changed my mind on that, and I go, all right, I'm dealing with this now. That's it. Just keep it even keel. Don't overreact. So I go, hey, buddy, I hate to bring this up, but when you sit down to go number two, you're getting up and you're not lifting the seat to see if there's a problem. I go, I don't care if it goes everywhere, but cleaning it well after the fact is hard for me to clean. So while it's still in its liquid state, you need to clean that for me, because otherwise it's a pain in the ass and it's hard to clean. Oh, okay. And he was cool about it. God, it's so nerve-wracking. And so now, whether or not that is going to happen, I don't know. But I did voice it. I said, you need to, when you get done, when the Hamsbeer shit howitzer fires, and you have stood up, and because wiping is an issue too, because of his hands are jacked. So this is never a very easy scenario. There's always some disaster. Oh my God. I go, you need to stand up. You're putting your pants on. You're going to lift the seat. You got to look. You got to see. And if it's a problem, there's just spray, wipe, garbage, wash your hands, get out. That's it. That's going to make Eric's life easier so that I don't have to clean up your leavings. Oh my God. He said, oh, no problem. I'm like, oh my God, what is going on in this household? Whew. It's all I can do. Now, whether or not it's going to happen, I don't know. Kate says, when you call him Penguinstein, it kills me. It's true. That's absolutely true. That's how we have, by the way, another doctor's appointment tomorrow, foot doctor. Man, I wish I could pick the brain of the foot doctor and say, so have you ever seen feet like this? I describe them as like he held a hand grenade between his feet and pulled the pin. Don't you have a cleaning sponsor? Have them swing through a couple times a day. They could go live. No, I don't want to wish this on anybody. Man. Kenny says, she wanted you to not say anything to him, but now it's being discussed on the free podcast. I know what you're getting at. There. But no, I'm not going to tell the story, first of all. Second of all, she did not say, don't tell this. Did not come up. She knows that this is part of the that gives you an idea of how bad the forbidden story is, that it cannot be told. Okay. Dirk says, look, you got to get him to try the squatty potty. All right. And first of all, he asked, do you use the squatty potty to go number one? No. Dirk has suggested that if the NFK used the squatty potty from the Hamsbeer shit howitzer, he would actually get lift off of the toilet. Kind of like one of those, what's that guy's name who makes the rockets? Elon Musk rockets. The Falcon Heavy. He would fly off of the toilet. You're not kidding, man. Okay, I've got more coming up in this podcast I can't wait to tell you about. Let's see. Hold on a second here. Oh, my God. This freaking Montana senator and the things he said. Man, this is ridiculous. First of all, if you have a business, I want you to keep this show in mind. Be like some of the many businesses behind me with the sign up. I can talk about your business. Of course, get your message heard on the Facebook live stream, YouTube live stream, Twitter live stream, not to mention the recorded audio podcast. YouTube can be in front of thousands of people. All you got to do is give me a heads up and say, hey, Zane, tell me more about it. No obligation on your part, just me telling you how it works. And if you're interested, I'll even give you the pricing at some point. Or you're like, maybe not. All right, yeah, give me the pricing. Give me the pricing. I was looking more for this, saying I only have this much money. Well, maybe we can get you in. Somehow we can figure that out. I've never said to anybody, nope, just not going to work. There's always a way to get anybody in the podcast. Eric at ericzaneshow.com on the Shoreliner Striping inbox, and I'll take it from there. Just give me a heads up. Say, hey, tell me more, and I'll take care of it. My friends at F45 in Byron Center, Michigan. Check them out, f45.com f45training.com/Byron Center. You can sign up for 1 week free when you go to that website. So awesome. Training with that group is spectacular. I'd like to get Dean in there to see how he would do in one of these workouts, Dean. I mean, you're a push-up, pull-up king in your own residence. I want to take you over there just for one workout and see how you do, Dean. We can get video footage of that, buddy. F45 in Byron Center, Michigan. Meanwhile, my friends at Horizon Hydroponics are reminding you that the outdoor growing season is right around the corner. Maybe you have your plants that are getting started now inside of the home. Whatever you need, Horizon Hydroponics has everything that you could possibly ever need to improve the grow. HORIZEN hydroponics.com. You've got, of course, that website where you can get anything, any of their supplies, and if you spend more than $250, the shipping is free anywhere in the United States. Horizon Hydroponics. I'm really in the weeds here. Sorry. And 4 brick-and-mortar stores as well. Alpine Grand Rapids, Byron Center, Growers Outlet, Kalamazoo, and Lansing. Thank you to them. All right, Bleeding Heart Brian sent this along. This is just weird. I don't know the background of it. I don't know why it's being discussed. I think it has to do with Republicans and the Mexican border. All right. This is, but don't quote me on that. This is the Republican Senator Steve Daines from the great state of Montana. He is not happy with the fact that in the state of Montana, the meth industry is now outsourced to the Mexican cartel. According to this, the way this sounds, the suggestion is being made that he wants to go back to the old school glory days of the meth industry in Montana when it was just getting started. This is what he said.
The flood of Mexican meth, Mexican heroin, Mexican fentanyl. 20 years ago in Montana, meth was homemade. It was homegrown. And it had purity levels less than 30%. Today, the meth that is getting into Montana is Mexican cartel.
Let's go back to the meth industry when it was just us, side by side, making our meth and loving each other without the Mexican meth. What? Why would you make the go back to the glory days comparison? So basically what you're saying there is that the meth, the fentanyl, and the heroin that is coming into Montana from Mexico is really pure. He's basically saying, hey, Montana people, you want the good stuff. Get it from the Mexican drug cartel. Because we made meth. We made shit meth back in the day. It was only 30% pure. Fuck, I saw Breaking Bad. I know about purity levels. So the Montana folks, they don't know what the fuck they're doing when it comes to making meth. The Mexicans Who says let's go back to the glory days of making meth? And this is stupid. Email of the day brought to you by my friends at Forever Lawn, West Michigan. Online at foreverlawn.com/WMI. Synthetic grass for your business or your home. There's been a lot of feces stories on this podcast. What with the NFK and now this. Kevin writes this. Zane, I pulled off the perfect Eric Zane Code Brown. Now, the Code Brown, to me, that was always when it happened in your pants. Okay? But I guess this can qualify too. It's all kind of in there. It's all just gross and stupid. Kevin writes, I was out disc golfing. He says, I know, what a hippie millennial. Actually, that looks pretty fun. I'm oftentimes very impressed with the accuracy. There's a disc golf place right by here, like half a mile away at this church right by where I live. All of a sudden, it's happening. I have to go immediately. I look around. Nothing in sight in terms of a restroom. It became clear. I was going to have to take care of business in the woods. By the way, that is such a vulnerable spot to be in. You're just in that way crouch. You're just hoping that your ass is hanging out far enough so that, and you're bent in a particular way so that when what's going to happen happens, it doesn't just fall right into your pants. I was going to have to take care of business in the woods. First spot I found. I'm getting ready. No good. A guy walking his dog nearby on a path. At this point, I am thinking this is going to happen in my pants. I'm clenching my ass cheeks together and cannot decide if running or walking is better. Walking is always better. You cannot know. You can't. You gotta walk swiftly, but don't let go of the walk. As soon as you start to move quicker, you're just going to open up the floodgates. It's going to be a horrible thing. I find another spot. It's perfect. I handle business. It's glorious. Then I realize the foliage is not a suitable tool for cleanup. So I did what anyone would do in this scenario. 2 socks entered the woods. 1 sock came out. LOL. My God. In that bent over, vulnerable position, your pants down, you're there inches from your own filth. You gotta wiggle out of a shoe and peel off a sock. My God. Resourceful. I get it, man. You do what you got to do. Oh, that is just incredible. Thank you for sharing, Kevin. That is a great show code email. That is your email of the day, eric@ericzaneshow.com. On the Shoreliner Striping inbox. Follow up to a story that we talked about last week, Tuesday. This is from Allison. Concerning the story about the crack whore who got into the car with Jason and I. Jason said he doesn't care anymore if I say his name, by the way. He met a number of you at Captain Bizarro's over the weekend. But Jason and I went to that 12-step meeting, and that young lady says, Jason and I wanted to wait for a ride to get there because it's kind of a rough neighborhood, and we didn't want anything to happen to her. And then she says, hey, can I go sit in your car? And we're like, what the hell? And I floated the idea that she was getting me into a spot. Maybe she thought it was just going to be her and I, and then she could accuse me of something terrible. Allison, and then she revealed later that she's not in fact sober and on crack. Allison writes, your crackhead friend, Eric, I may be in the minority. I don't think your new crackhead pal was trying to entrap you into a phony sexual assault case. That would take way too much mental wherewithal, which by the sounds of it, she was clearly lacking. Granted, if you were alone in the car with her, this is what she thinks. She might have tried for some consensual acts of the flesh. Oh, God. Oh, and that would have been just gruesome. Oh, this was bad. This was not a good look. I sensed daddy issues, and she had her crack goggles on. More than likely. That's what I think. Or maybe she just wanted the hamburger. Because she said, hey, will you take me to McDonald's so I can get a hamburger? But she didn't say, will you take me to McDonald's and buy me a hamburger? Holy crap. Okay. We've got the asshole of the day coming up. Send your nominations on, it could be what we've talked about. Could be something else burning on your brain. More than likely, it's going to be something that we talked about on the show. All right. Kenny says, I was waiting to hear what Kevin used to wipe, that he used poison ivy. I've been in that spot where I've been in that prone position and then like, oh my God, I am in a poison ivy patch. I got to get the hell out of here. All right. Asshole of the day, seconds away. I got T-shirts, and I just posted a new design that I want to tell you about, and it's going to be colorized, too. I posted the black and white, and then after I posted it, the Psycho Magician John said he's getting it professionally colorized, so you can have that, too. He, with his handiwork, very creative, made a comic book cover of me. It says, The Podcaster, and it says, first effing issue. He kept getting fired, so he fired back. First issue, whatever. And it's me with Iron Man armor, no Iron Man helmet, the busted Captain America shield from Endgame, and I'm holding what would be Thor's hammer but it's instead of the hammer, it's a microphone. So Cap's busted shield, Iron Man chest armor, Thor's hammer, but not Thor's hammer. It's a microphone with the loop from Thor's hammer, which kind of looks like a noose. You're probably going to get me canceled with this shirt. And made it into a T-shirt and coffee mug. By the way, all the coffee mugs now are all black. I didn't realize that you could only get one color on the coffee mugs, and some of them were yellow, some of them were like purple. They're all black now. So any logo that I have, any design, I'm a Zaniac, Zany Bunch. Zany Bunch might be blue, but all the rest of them are black. So I made that change if you want to check those out. All right. And then finally, quick shout out to my friend Mario Flores from the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Call Mario at 231-332-6505. Listen to me. Jizzy. If you need a mortgage, get a mortgage before you even start looking for a house. 231-332-6505. Anywhere in the USA, Mario can get a mortgage for you. So it doesn't matter where you're listening from. Get a hold of Mario. That's your guy. Mention the Eric Zane Show podcast is where you heard about him, and that will help me. Thank you to Mario. NMLS number 3035. He pays special attention to people who have terrible credit. Not every mortgage person does that. They only want the big fish, not Mario, because he knows that you're going to start out small. You're going to get a home. You're going to get a mortgage. You're going to need another mortgage down the road. You're going to be a return customer. Reach out to Mario. The Zaniac Zoom went down over the weekend. Zaniac Zoom, when we get fucked up. Hey, man, I'm fucking hammered. We'll get fucked up on the Zaniac Zoom.
Y'all want to make fun of me when I get fucked up on the Zaniac Zoom.
Nick writes, can we have an asshole of the weekend? Because I nominate Mike Pellerito for leaving me on Zoom on Facebook, passed out drunk, snoring for the world to hear. Wow, why am I just hearing about that now? That sounds fantastic. Can I think I might need some audio on that. I mean, Nick has, he's got a long history. He's gotten hammered before. And, man.
My dad came up with the...
Sorry, that was loud. Where is that old clip of Nick? Do I still have those? I got Stevie drunk. I don't think I have Nick on here anymore. All right. Yeah, I need some of that info. All right. What do we got to do for asshole of the day? What are we looking at here? Let me see. Okay. Dum Dum who got the damn boat stuck in the Suez Canal. Nah. Might not have been his fault. Let's see. Me for forgetting that the catch valve works the way it works. Me for my horrible performance reading the gospel at Mass. Pete Ferrasi at church for busting me about stumbling my way through the word, the place Gethsemane.
Gethsemane.
Could it be the NFK? I don't know if I can make the NFK. You know, like I said, he didn't know that, and his brain is sometimes an issue. I don't know if I can give the NFK asshole of the day. Senator Steve Daines for saying try the meth and say yes to Montana meth. Let's see. My new pal Laura LeBriner. She didn't do anything asshole related. I think we're a little lean on the asshole of the day. Maybe the mayor of D.C. for not acknowledging the two scumbags who murdered that guy. Tio says, Pete from church. Pain in the ass Dirk says, some dingleberry changing the Bible on the fly. God, all right, it's down to 2. Eric and Pete. All right, I think I got to give myself asshole of the day with an honorable mention to Pete. Eric Zane gets asshole of the day. HOM. Pete F. Yeah, but he went out of his way to ridicule me. What I did was lack of knowledge and stupidity. It's not. No, bullshit. I don't have to take that shit. Where'd that go? I don't think it should be me. Hang on. The bullshit. Mine wasn't intentional. No, it's Pete. It's Pete the Dago. Pete the Dago. That's your asshole of the day. For making fun of me when I'm walking out of Mass. I already felt like an asshole. Try to make it me. Screw you guys. Mine wasn't intentional. Nicholas Stewart says, Bleeding Heart Brian for being such a pain in the ass. Why? What did he do? What did he do? Hurt your fucking feelings? Fuck your feelings, Nick. That's what idiots like you say all the damn time. Fuck your feelings, Zane. Yeah, whatever. All right, I'm done. I appreciate it. Josh says, now it's you for thinking you're too good to get asshole of the day. No, I don't get asshole of the day for that. Screw you, idiot. You and your stupid fucking haircut. I love you, folks. Thanks again for the time. We'll talk to you down the road. We've got the Patreon bonus podcast in a little bit. Remember, if you're on Patreon, you too can join me to see Laura's new fucking Prohibition Fear Bunker. We're going to see that together. It'll be a Patreon field trip. Okay, folks, have a good one. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.